G'day my friends, how are you? So I got a new border tiger, the early version. So this is the Kharkov version of it. So it's not the earliest you can get. You can get one that was in Leningrad, but this is pretty early. So this was just as they were starting to ramp up production of the tigers. The one on the front here is the gross one that was given to the Gross Deutschland. And there's a few other versions you can do, but that's a pretty classic Gross Deutschland in Kharkov there. And I think they've got one from Liebstandarte and another one from Das Reich. All those were given a couple of the early initial tigers from the production run to help Manstein in his little counterattack. But let's have a look. On the side here, you got all this cool stuff, but it looks like they did put in smoke dispensers and they've taken them out, which is, I don't know why. It seems like it would be really difficult to put that sticker on all of them. Boxes, I think it'd be pretty easy just to put the bloody smoke dispensers in. Anyway, there's the different ones you can get. So Gross Deutschland, Liebstandarte, and I think that, I don't know, I think that might be Totenkopf for Das Reich. And this is the instructions. Right there. So it looks okay, like, you know, pretty easy, simple build, and it looks heavily inspired by the Dragon ones, because they do the exact same thing there. And yeah, as all tigers are, they're just a big box with a gun on them, so they're pretty easy to build. And you get a few really good details. We'll have a look at all this stuff, but yeah, God, they've got a lot of wheels, the tigers, don't they? So you got all those wheels, then you got all those wheels, then you got all those wheels, and then you think you're finished, but then you got more wheels to put on, and then you've got all these tracks, and you've got the sort of link and length situation going on. And of course you get little, you know, details like that you can use. There's a heap of these different mantlets. So it looks pretty simple to build. I don't know how you could really go wrong. And there's the different paint schemes. And this is what you get in the box. So you get all this cool stuff. So let's have a look. So it's becoming pretty standard to get a metal barrel with your border models these days. That looks pretty nice and detailed, doesn't it? We get a tiny little decal sheet here, and I'm pretty, I don't mind border decals. They're not the greatest, but they're not the worst either. And this is our little photo etch sheet. And we get the clear parts. So that's quite a fair bit of, you know, good detail there. But then Border is also adding these things to their tiger kits. So you see how you get all these plastic rolls and bed rolls and all that kind of stuff, pieces of wood. They're the actual covered muzzles and the covered machine gun. That's something you can put on the rear of your storage. they're, you know, it seems like everyone's doing that these days. Bryfield's got their one they put in. Then we've got the top here. And the moulding does look pretty good. Pretty classic border kind of moulding. And you can see, if you get right down close, you can see all the weld lines and stuff like that they've done really well. But as I say, very border-esque in its approach. But you can see all the detail they mould onto it. Which isn't too bad. Now if we go have a quick look at the rear, you can see there is quite a lot of ejection and pin marks. But it's a non-interior kit, so wouldn't be too concerned. But yeah, these are going to have to be removed because they protrude out. But yeah, you could see if Border went for the full interior, that they would have a few problems with ejection pin marks. Where Mini Art is a lot smarter with their placement of these. I'm a really big fan of Mini Art and Dragon, but I do have a soft spot for Border models. I also have a soft spot for ICM. I like them. Here we've got all the different mantlets here. And you can see they've got nice little detail on them, so nice texturing and all that kind of stuff. So that's the second one. Then we've got difference here, big difference here. So you got really thick, that part's really thick, that part's really thick, but then they're different there. And then this really thins out, so they don't have that big thick metal there. Which one to choose? And then you've got the boxes, you know, the storage containers, and they look very intelligently molded. Wonder how they'll come out. It's always interesting to see how the different companies do the different, you know, approach the different things. So here we've got the actual bathtub hull, and they've molded in their little company logo. But once again, you know, it's really nicely detailed. That'll have to be removed, this part here, sanded down. But when you really look at the bottom, and all that will be covered up by the multitude of wheels, but that looks alright. And we've got the turret here. So it's one piece. They've got that moulded in the middle, you'll have to remove. But you can see how it's got different parts there with lines coming down the middle. That's going to have to be sanded out. So I've never quite seen that before. Usually they can mould this nice and round without those lines. So that's not a plus. But still, I will be working this out, you know, I want to give damage to the actual metal and all that kind of stuff, but still, you shouldn't have those lines. And there's quite a lot of ejection pin marks in the base there. Say the turret's a little bit of a fail. You get two of these. So you get so many wheels, it's not funny. But the wheels look nice. They do look pretty good, and that's the old style. And then we've also got, you know, some of the more interior parts here, the fuel tanks and the exhaust, or what would you call it, the radiators. And we've got some air filters. They're part of the radiators. And these wheels look pretty good on the rear side as well, so there's no ejection pin marks you got to clean up, no annoying things. Oh, looks pretty good in that regard. That's just a copy of the other one. And then we've got the track system here. So you can see these actual length bits have got these molded on, but in the middle you've got to remove the ejection pin marks. And then the loose bits you'll have to glue them on, and you see you've got two little holes there where you can glue them in. So these bits. But there is quite a lot of track there. And then you've got some loose track you can put on the front. But those tracks do look good, don't they? Like they've got that real border sort of crispness, border crispness. Now we've got all kinds of different parts here. So you've got parts for the wheels, and then we've got the plastic molded cables. We've got, you know, hatches. Very nice molding there. Very nice molding. Just all kinds of different little parts. You know, there's some hoses for the filtration system. And they're the rear things for the exhaust. But you can see here, this is not very well designed in its molding. That should actually meet. And because that doesn't meet, it's broken apart there. And that's not good. But yeah, really nice. That's just a, you know, one of those sprues where they've just got all the little extras and stuff. And then finally we've got the last one here, and that's got the actual cannon. But we've got a metal gun barrel, so you don't need that. More of the gun parts. And this is slide molded out. You can see all the good weld marks there too, can't you? Really nice. That's the Tiger by Border, the early version. I reckon we build it up and have a look and see how it goes. You've even got the smoke dispensers. Give it a crack, hey? Alright, I'll speak to you again very soon. Let's build this thing.